Silva faces Diego Lopes this week, UFC Noche, and I believe this is one of the most competitive, compelling fights of the year. The only fight on the card that actually matters. Noche is a terrible card, but this main event, this fight, is very important for the division, and I think it's going to be one of the more entertaining fights of the year, and I do believe that this fight will go 5 rounds. In this video, I'm going to go through this fight. I'm going to break down every aspect of this fight. And eventually, at the end, I'm going to give my official pick for this fight. Before we go ahead and get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, boys, because this fight is such an exciting fight. I think this fight defines the future of featherweight, because if Lopes wins this fight, he can get a rematch with Volk or fight Evloev, get that rematch with Evloev, and then fight for the title again. If Silva wins, he could just get that title shot immediately after Lerone Murphy most likely gets it against Volkanovski in December. I think in November or December. No, it would be December. The final pay-per-view of the year, I think, will be faced and will be headlined by Volk versus what's his name, Lerone Murphy. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair fight to make. I think Murphy deserves it after that KO, stepping in on short notice and knocking out a dangerous guy in Aaron Pico. But this fight is very important for the division. We're going to see if the fighting nerds are getting derailed like they just did last weekend in Paris. They got destroyed. They both lost in the co-main and the main event. We had Rufi get subbed and lose all of his aura by BSD. BSD aura maxed the shit out of Mauricio Rufi. Subbed him in the second round with a face crank. Nasty finish by BSD. Just a mauling all around. Took him down. Slammed body kicks. Slammed head kicks. Smushed his ass on the ground and just completely demolished and crushed Mauricio Rufi in Paris. He was stressed. He was under the pressure. The crowd was on BSD's side, chanting the entire time. And the second that BSD destroyed Rufi, I knew Imavov would win. I picked Imavov to win. Unfortunately, I picked Rufi, but I did think that BSD hadn't made the adjustments, but he did. Him with Nicholas Ott and Imavov and William Gomi, that whole team is amazing. It's an amazing team, and they just crushed the fighting nerds. Imavov beat Caio Borralho 50-45. People argue about the scorecards, but I think it was fair. I think Imavov won almost every single round. I think it was 4-1 Imavov. So maybe not 50-45, but he 50-45 them. You know, that was back-to-back fighting nerds losing their hype, losing their aura, and now we're going into another fight card headlined by a fighting nerd in Jean Silva. Now the question is this a step too soon? Before, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Silva's probably going to get Lopes. But is this too quick? Is this step too soon? Because Lopes came into his own and he built and he did that big step up and he fought Brian Ortega and he destroyed Ortega. So, and Lopes had a very competitive fight with Volkanovski. We can't pretend like Volk destroyed Lopes. It was a very competitive fight, very close fight. Volk has the better volume. When you make it a clean fight, he will win that fight. He's just a cleaner, crisper fighter out of the entirety of the division of featherweight. You know, he's got the best technique. So Lopes had a little bit of struggles trying to make it dirty, trying to make it a scrap. Volk did not want to scrap it out with him. Lopes did catch Volk at one point. I think in the second round, dropped him with that overhand right, almost finished Volk. We're pretending like Silva is a demolisher of worlds, a world beater. He's not. You know, Lopes almost beat Volk, and now he's fighting Silva, and he's a massive underdog. I think this fight is very competitive. I think it goes 5 rounds. I think we're going to see how much dog Silva really has in him, because Lopes has the dog in him. He can go 5 rounds. He just showed that against Volk. He still had that cardio, that energy in the 5th round. I think he's going to bring it, and I think he's very, very difficult to finish. Lopes has a great chin. He's able to defend himself on the ground. The real question in this fight is, will Silva follow Lopes to the ground if he drops him? Will he try to sub Lopes? I don't think he will. I think the game plan for the fighting nerds coming in here with Silva in the main event, they're going to want Silva to stay at range, pop his big shots, blitz in, blitz back out, stay at range with Lopes, because I don't think blitzing in on Lopes is a great idea. Lopes has nasty uppercuts, nasty close hooks. He's a very rangy, tall guy for featherweight, but he's dangerous in the pocket. He's more dangerous in the pocket than at range. Not to mention the fact that Lopes has some of the best BJJ, if not the best BJJ in featherweight. You know, he subbed multiple guys. He had that nasty leg triangle against the Canadian guy. I forget his name. Nasty leg triangle turned into an armbar. Like, he's got really good BJJ transitions. It's going to be very difficult for Silva to follow Lopes to the ground if he's in his guard and he's got top mount, not even full mount. If he's just in the closed guard of Lopes, Lopes will throw up leg triangles. He will throw up arm bars. He will look to finish the fight off of his back, and he's very dangerous doing that. He almost finished Evloev with an armbar. He was switching and transitioning in his first debut. He had a very competitive fight with Evloev. We're coming in here and we're thinking, oh, Lopes. People are thinking Lopes is going to get destroyed. You know, I thought before seeing that the fighting nerds are human, before realizing the fighting nerds are human, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking Lopes, you know, he might get cooked. He might get knocked out. But I think this will be a very close competitive fight. Silva still could win. And I do think I will most likely still pick Silva. But this is a very, very compelling fight. Very close fight, in my opinion. I don't think either of these guys get finished. If there is somebody getting finished, I think it'll be Lopes subbing Silva. But Silva's very good on the ground game. He's very good defensively on the ground. I just don't think he's going to follow Lopes into his guard, onto the ground, risk that potential factor of being subbed by an armbar, by a leg triangle, you know, by a rear naked, like all sorts. Lopes has a bag of submissions he can use, and he's just been working on his striking. So now he's a very well-rounded, very compelling fighter to watch, and he's very fun. Lopes is always fun, and so is Silva. This is why this fight, Noche headliner main event, is the only important fight on this card. It's the only good fight on this card. The rest is terrible. But this card, with this main event, at least we've got something to look forward to. I'm very excited for this fight. The early pick that I'm going to be leaning. Initially, I was leaning Silva. I'm still going to lean Silva. I know I'm still going to lean Silva, but I am keeping this as a 50-50. Before, I saw this kind of as a, you know, maybe a 90, maybe not a 75-25 kind of gap, like maybe a, you know, a bit wider. But now I think it's a 50-50. After looking at tape and watching tape, Lopes is very durable, very difficult to finish. I don't think Silva's going to finish him. I think this will go into the later rounds. Is going to see who has more dog in him. You know, Silva's made his brand on being the dog and barking at people. This guy barks at people. He barks at people. You know, sub Bryce Mitchell and barked at him. But this is Bryce Mitchell. That his best win is Bryce Mitchell. No hate to Bryce Mitchell. But Bryce Mitchell's made his move down to bantamweight. He looks a lot better, you know. And he has lost to some really good guys, but Silva hasn't fought that level of comp yet. He hasn't. He's not tested. We just saw this with Rufy. Rufy was not tested against any grapplers, and he got choked out by Benoit Saint-Denis. Same thing with Kyle Baralho. He wasn't tested as much as he should have. He fought an old Jared Cannonier, and he fought a now retired Paul Craig. Those were his best wins. The fighting nerds are getting jumped. They're jumping the line because of their name, because of the aura that they did have. In 2025, I believe they're 3-4. They've got 3 losses. Carlos Prates lost. Rufy just lost last time. And then Baralho just lost last weekend. Will Silva be next? Will he? I'm not too sure. You know, I want to go with Silva. And I want to pick either of these. It's so difficult to make a pick here, but I'm going to lean Silva right now. Right now, I'm going to lean Silva. I think maybe he's going to land the better shots. Maybe he is going to outdog Lopes because Lopes brings it. But if Silva is willing to go into the pocket with Lopes, I think Lopes will be the more successful fighter. You know, those uppercuts are going to be nasty. He could definitely catch Silva and drop him, find a submission, you know, maybe a ground and pound to get. You never know. But I think this goes the distance. I think it goes 5 rounds. Both guys are very durable. We haven't seen Silva get stunned. We haven't seen him get really badly hurt. Neither have we seen Lopes get really badly hurt. He got rocked a little bit in his last one against Volk. But I think if he does get dropped, I don't think he goes unconscious. I don't think Silva has that one-shot knockout power. We've seen it a bit. But I think Lopes' chin is good enough that if he gets dropped, he won't be fully unconscious and he'll be able to defend himself, see if Silva wants to enter his guard or let him back to the feet. That's what Rufy's mistake was last week when BSD was on his back and Rufy reversed the position and was on top of BSD. He let him back to the feet. Will that be the same issue for Silva? We will see. We will definitely see because Lopes will shoot takedowns as well. He will shoot takedowns. He will go for, you know, submissions. He will try to threaten submissions. And if he's struggling on the feet, he will try to take Silva down. And I think he will take Silva down. We've seen Silva get taken down multiple times, and we haven't seen him fight the best grapplers, you know? If Silva faced Evloev, I think Evloev would destroy Silva, honestly. So the early pick, I'm still going to go with Jean Silva. I'm going to go with Jean Silva by decision. Close, competitive decision through 5 rounds. I think this will be very, very close. Very close. I think Lopes will have his moments. Silva will have his moments. And what it will really come down to is who has the more dog once we get into the 4th and 5th, the championship rounds. Who will be showing that they're championship level? Lopes had that close fight with Volk. Once Volk retires, Lopes will have that chance to maybe get the belt. But is Silva the bigger dog? Does he have that championship ready mentality? Because he's only gone 3 rounds. He's never gone 5. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited for this main event. Really good main event. Terrible card up until the main event, but I'm very excited for it. Early pick is going to be Silva by decision. Let me know who you guys are picking in the comments down below. Without a further ado, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you boys in the next one. See you.